Today, we're taking a look at the best CS2 investments you can make right now, after Valve has announced they will be removing the gallery case, the graphic collection, and character craft stickers from the CS2 Armory. When we take a look at CS latest patch notes, we can see on an update from September 10th, it is the last chance to pick up the gallery case, graphic collection, and character craft stickers from the Armory. When we jump into CS2, we can also see a small icon in the bottom right corner of these three items that we did mention saying last chance to claim this offer. There isn't a date listed, however there are two dates that come to mind. The first one is being October 2nd, which is a 1-year anniversary for when these collections were added to CS2. The other option is in 59 days when the limited edition M41S may get removed. Out of the two dates that I did mention, I personally think October 2nd is the date to look out for. I assume they may add a new case and collection after the 1-year anniversary. It was a bit of a surprise seeing that not all the items are going to be removed at the same time, since a bunch of these collections were added at the exact same time when the Armory did launch. When doing some more research on the three collections that were all added at the exact same time, you can see the graphic collection is performing the worst out of the three collections, which could be the reason why they're removing it quickest to add in some new items that people will be buying. When looking at the skin database on CS Flow, searching the AWP CMYK, we can see 14,593 of these items have been on the database. When we compare that to something like the M41S Fade, which is another covert item in one of the collections, we can see 38,665 of these have been registered on the database. And finally, looking at the AK-47 Be the Monster, 43,050 of these have been registered, which is the top performer out of the three collections. Although it could be a simple coincidence, I personally feel like this is why they're removing the graphic collection out of the three collections that were added. Next, I personally think we will see the Sport and Field collection removed, so keep that in mind if you do want to invest into some items that aren't skyrocketing in price right now, since they haven't been announced that they will be taken away. If you're looking to invest into some items from the collection and cases that are being removed before they skyrocket even more in price, the first item I personally am looking at is the Desert Eagle Starcade. I think it's a super underrated skin, it looks extremely clean, and I do think it deserves the covert item of this case. However, the main items I am looking at are any of the mil-spec and industrial skins from this collection. The reason being is anyone wanting to trade up in the future will be using any of these items, and it will take away 10 of these at a time for each trade up. I know that I personally will be picking up a ton of these industrial and mil-spec skins in order to hold them for trade-ups in the future. The prices should rise compared to what they are today, as many people will be burning off a lot of these skins. Same thing will go with the gallery case. We have two different covert items here that are both super clean skins. I personally think the Vaporwave is one of the cleanest M41S skins, and the Gold Tooth Glock 18 is also a great option to pick up. Once again, from this case, I'm personally going to be buying any of the mil-spec skins in order to do trade-ups in the future. The price on these are extremely low right now, so it is a great investment if you have a lower price point. Another thing we need to strongly consider with the gallery case is what will happen with the case once it's removed from the Armory. If it goes into the rare case pool in CS2, I don't think we'll see a huge skyrocket in the price right away, and we'll see a more steadily increasing price over time. However, the better option for people investing into this case is if it gets added to the discontinued cases. Because of this, it will never be dropped again in CS2, compared to something like the rare cases, where you can still get a small chance at getting one of them as a drop. If it's in the discontinued cases, we'll never have extra supply adding to the market, and we will see a massive skyrocket in price, in my opinion, right away once it does get announced where it is going to end up. Out of all the discontinued cases, the Shattered Web case is currently the cheapest. The price here says $6, however, looking at the Steam market, the current cheapest listings are around the $9 mark. Although I don't see the price skyrocketing all the way up to $9, over time I definitely see the price increasing a ton closer to that $9 mark over the next few years. Out of the total 32 million cases that were unboxed from August 12th until September 12th, there was only about 1.2 million gallery cases that were opened. Although this number isn't extremely high, it's still a super strong number to help bring down the supply over time if it does get discontinued. With the announcement of items finally being removed from the Armory, I personally am still heavily investing into the charms. Although they aren't one of the items that are going to be removed at this time, I can see them being removed in the next 6 months to 1 year. The main reason I've chose charms as my investment from the entire CS2 Armory is because it's a unique item compared to something that is just a basic skin. We can also assume that if these don't get re-added with any new updated charms, we could see a price increase and a skyrocket just like agents have seen in the past few weeks. The other reason I'm investing into charms is because of the unique feature. We haven't seen anything else like this in CS2. We have seen a ton of different stickers added and removed from the game and had a huge price increase, although the charms won't be a limited number because people can never really get rid of them since you can remove them from a skin and add them to another item. However, with this ability, you will be able to make a ton of different crafts in the future, and people will be adding these and permanently leaving them on their skins with different crafts that they do create. If we do see the charms removed in the next little while, and we don't see any new charms being added, we could also assume something like the agents where it won't be re-added to CS2 for a long period of time, and we will finally see an increase in price on these items. This is why I personally am investing into charms, and I think it's a great option for the entire CS2 Armory. Hopefully you guys found the information on the CS2 Armory from today's video insightful on what items you should personally be picking up as well. With the market cap at an all-time high still of $5.5 billion, we can see an insane price increase in a ton of items over the past few weeks. Even in the past 24 hours on the AK-47, we've seen some massive price increases on field-tested and minimal wear skins. It's no longer just factory new items that are being pumped, and I personally would highly recommend sticking away from any play skin right now in CS2. And if you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.